Spider-Man is back! Spider-Man is back! And we officially have him back in the MCU! Let me cut the fan on so I can hear y'all. What is going on, Reaction? How you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. This is just a quick video because we officially got Spider-Man back in the MCU. Sony and Disney just made a deal. And I kind of knew this was going to happen just for the fact that Disney kind of put Sony in a kind of like messed up way. Like they put him in like this little, they trapped Sony. And what I mean by they trapped him is the way, I feel like Marvel and Disney knew the way they were going to end the movie. And they ended the movie a certain way, so Sony has no point but to sign a new deal. And what I mean by that is, well, not even just the ending, but just Spider-Man in general, the way they have built this Spider-Man, there is no other way to build him. And Sony just doing the movie by itself would have not done it justice. No, would not have done justice. Now, let me give you an example. Okay, so Spider-Man's part of the MCU. Spider-Man mentor was Tony Stark. Spider-Man got dusted by Thanos. Spider-Man came back and fought with the Avengers. You got Spider-Man's close to Happy Hogan now. Little things like that. What else? Spider-Man's suit, Iron Spider suit that he carries, which I don't think he's ever going to use again. But maybe if now he's back in MCU. It's little things that you got to really sit here and think about, because without any of that stuff in the movie, and if you try to make a third movie, at least with, you try to make a third movie with Sony's production, there's going to be a lot of issues. Because let's say you don't mention anything, how are we going to work with this Spider-Man? Are you going to just restart with him with Tom Holland? No, because you already made 2 movies. People are going to be confused. So I can understand them not mentioning Tony Stark, which is perfectly fine. He's dead. You know what I'm saying? No need to mention somebody that's already dead. But the only issue is you got to mention like the blip. You know what I'm saying? You got to mention the Avengers, because you live in a world where there's Avengers and there's the superheroes that are beyond us or beyond the Sony's viewpoint. So I mean, you got to mention them, at least once in a while in a movie. Now, only way they could have honestly done it without Marvel's help is, it's hard. Like, they would have to put Spider-Man in another dimension. Like, in the beginning of the third movie, he would have to go in another dimension, which means that somebody would have to take him to another dimension where he's in a world where there's no Avengers. It would be stupid, but I think it could have worked in some sort of fashion. I mean, it would be something like the 90s Spider-Man, where I forgot the lady, she would put Spider-Man in different dimensions and have him with all the Spider-Mans. That was the original Spider-Verse, to be honest with you. With the old 90s Spider-Man, where he was with all the characters, Scar Spider, No Spider, and all those people, you know what I'm saying? But anyways. Yeah, like Sony kind of was in a tough spot, to be honest with you. Honestly, I'm not one of those Marvel Disney fanboys. I just like Spider-Man, and I enjoyed Tom Holland as Spider-Man. A lot of people didn't enjoy Tom Holland as Spider-Man just for the fact that they felt like he was in Tony Stark's shadow, which he was. And a lot of people could disagree with the tech stuff in his suit, which I understand completely, but I can kind of oblige from it, because we're in an era where Spider-Man's not going to have just a regular suit. Like, let's be honest, if Spider-Man was real, his suit wouldn't just be a regular suit. He would probably have like tech in his suit where he can do a lot of things. Even in the Spider-Man 4 PS4 game, he had tech in his suit. It's just one of those things. People were upset that he didn't get his suit made by himself. I think more people are just upset about that. I'm pretty sure if he would have made the suit by himself, did the tech by himself, nobody would have been upset. Nobody would have been complaining. It's just one of those little things that people were like, he didn't make his suit by himself, and he didn't do this by himself. I understand. Homecoming wasn't the best movie. It was good, but it wasn't the best movie. It had a lot of Tony Stark shadow, and which I understand. And Far From Home did the same thing, but at least at the end, I feel like at the end he finally became his own person. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to hear about Tony Stark again. And which in the third movie we probably won't have to mention him, just for the fact that the ending of Far From Home did set up for him to be in a bigger role with his identity out. Which I feel like they're going to resolve it by having a Skrull play Peter and have Peter play Spider-Man, which is the smartest route to go. But it would be like one of those, wow, that was too easy thing. But like I said, it's one of those things where, you know. But yeah, like I'm happy that he's back in MCU. I heard that I don't know if it was Amazon. It was Amazon, or it was some company. It was some big company that was gonna end up buying Sony, and then I think either buying Sony or buying the rights to Spider-Man and giving it back to Marvel. Which would have been fine either way. It doesn't matter to me. A lot of people like, oh, you know, Sony's greedy, but Marvel's worse. Yeah, they're both greedy. They both want money, and that's how companies are. You can't stop a company from wanting more money. You know what I'm saying? Every company is like that. And it's not only Disney and Sony. Like, other companies are like that as well. Not many companies, because Disney owns them. Disney is the most greediest, but I mean, I don't have no issue with Disney. What else? Yeah, like I said, Sony. It wasn't gonna work out for Sony, because they're stuck in this. They're stuck in a hole where you have Spider-Man. It's like everything that happened in the last movie you can't mention. Like, it wouldn't make sense unless he was put into another dimension. That rhymed, I think. But yeah, like, you know, I'm excited for Tom Holland to be back in the MCU. Like I said, I knew this was going to happen, just for the fact that I think too is that Marvel knew that they could have somebody else either buy Spider-Man or buy Sony. So Sony knew that, and I guess they might have made a deal. I don't know how big the deal is. I knew Disney didn't want just merchandise. They wanted more money, which they probably got a lot. I don't think they got half, but I think they got, you know, they're getting some of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. Tom Holland, man, I'm happy to see you back in the MCU. I'm happy. It's funny how I'm saying this, right? And I got a Superman shirt on, right? I feel like a hypocrite. I feel like a hypocrite. I do. I'm sitting here talking about Spider-Man with a Superman shirt on. That don't make no sense. But anyways, see you guys next video. Post for Nation Raw. Deuces. One love, peace. Catch you guys later. Stay blessed. I'm out. See you.